Alright, so here we go. Here's a test punch. This poncho is actually some test fabric. It's in kind of a khaki color. I'm going to string this thing up so it's longer in the back and I can have an awning in the front. So I'll take this. There's 12 tie-out tabs around all of our ponchos. So I'm just going to go through the tabs. I'm going to do so I throw the front of the poncho over top of that. And I string it through the second tab here on the other side. And now, there we go. Alright, so I'm going to do a taut line. So I just cross over. I come up through the middle twice. And I kind of dress that back a little like that. Then I go to the outside of the loop there. Come up through on that side. Then you just snug everything up. There we go. Now I'm good. So there we go. We're strung up. Now I just got to tack down the edges. Sweet. Okay, now in the tarp kit we do have a bundle of some shock cord, like 3 shock cords. You can use these for tensioning the top of our deal here. Snap me off a little piece of some toggle here. Shove that through the loop. There we go. And now I'll be spring loaded across here, which will be good in the wind. Okay, on this, you see I just made a loop back here, put this in through the loop so it wraps around that little twig there, little branch. Now, I come up here, I shove the other end of this shock cord through here, put my toggle in there, I'm set. If I want to tension it, all I got to do is, I got a cord lock on here that I can apply some more tension to it if I need to. Okay, these Easton aluminum tent stakes, these are 6-inch, that's normally what you want all the time. That's good. We put a shock cord through the cap, which means that most of the time if you want to, you can have a little shock cord action going on, so that when you anchor this thing down and you got the wind, it can move with the wind. Alright, so we always do up our cord in the figure 8. All your 20-foot hanks from us come in that. Now I just go to my tab. Like I say, there's 12 tie-out tabs around every poncho, regardless of what size you buy. So we do this is my version of that Swedish Hitch or whatever. I just use 2 fingers instead of my whole hand. Just go around like that, rotate up, and spread your fingers. Now, you take your end here and hook it with your middle finger, pull it through, and you see it's making a figure 8 right there. Now you just kind of give it a little assist right there to tighten it, snug it. That's it right there. That'll hold good enough to break the cord. I think I want to go over here, so I'm giving a little more side tension. So what I do now is come up here and do a taut line again. It's one of my most used knots. Very effective for a lot of purposes. Once you get it done, the important thing is to dress it out. So you tighten it that way, then you tighten it the other way like that. Once you do that, it's good to go. Alright, my shelter is put up. Okay, so now I've got a poncho that I can wear very effectively. This one even has the PSEs, the sleeve extensions. And you see they're not in the way, they just hang right there. I could tie them out a little, but you know. And now I've got my Osni cloak, which can be worn by itself. It's basically, this one here is the same size as this poncho. So I could wear this just like the poncho by itself. I can snap it into the poncho and wear it as an insulated poncho, so it makes a liner. Or I can come out here and I can turn this into a blanket or kind of like a sleeping bag, whatever I want to do. And I showed a little bit of that, I think, on a video recently, but on the end, so this can make an underquilt when you're using the poncho in hammock mode. I just draw that thing up tight like that, zip those cord locks down. I have now closed in the foot end of my sleeping bag. And it's not totally like a sleeping bag. Well, it depends on how big a person you are. I can barely do it. But now you see these are double-sided snaps, so you can work it out however you need to. And just snap a few of those up. So that closes in the foot end of a sleeping bag. Okay, now before you make it a sleeping bag, you take and pull the draw cord on the hood, cinch it down. So now the hood's closed up. So you see I can get pretty close to a sleeping bag. I can get down in here like this. So I just turned the Osni cloak into a sleeping bag. And this thing right here, this is 8 feet long. So there I've converted a wearable shelter, 2 wearable shelter pieces into a temporary stationary shelter. Here I am, I got plenty of headroom. You know, the stormier it is, the lower you'd pitch it. So it was pretty stormy. Maybe this ridge line might be about this high. Maybe just enough to sit up in or something, you know, something like that. But you just adjust it depending on your conditions. You see, here's me sleeping bag basically, or blanket, however I want to use it. I've got a canopy here to shield me from wind, rain, whatever. And I can pitch this a bunch of different ways. But you got a liner in an Osni cloak or a fleece, and you got your poncho. If you have those 2 items, you can be pretty well situated for a lot of the time when you're outdoors. So check it out, man. It's a great little setup. Thousands of people love theirs. So I'm kind of serious. You can cook whatever you want on the campfire. Now there we go. French toast from... There we go, French toast from sourdough bread over the campfire. That ain't a bad thing, I'm telling you what. Very easy to do.